Hello, everyone. Welcome. How are you all? I should be live. I'm going to check in a minute. Let's have a look. Look, I am. Hello. Welcome, everyone who's there. We've got Rick. Hello, Rick. How you doing? Hello, Lance Corporal. How are you? Hello, DJ B2. DJ says, I finally built a new computer. Well, it's obviously working. Last parts came after Ben's last live stream. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you didn't have to miss any. Hello, David Splendid Isolation. How are you? Welcome. And DJ says, tip, if you can get a motherboard with an LED debug readout, set it right. I'm not a bit of a boomer when it comes to things like that. I just press buttons and things work. I only know the basics. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm glad you can hear me. Hello, guys. How are you all? Welcome, everyone. I'm actually almost at the end of my StreamYard allowance. I think I've got about how many? I should have checked actually. How do I do it? It won't let me right click away because I'm not going to right click out the studio. Let's have a look. I should have 14 hours, 20 minutes used of 20 hours. That's not bad. I got over 5 hours. And it resets on the 11th of February, which is Wednesday. Good. Good evening, Johnny Fettler. How are you? Lance Corporal. Are we exploring the left-wing echo chamber of the internet? No, not tonight. We can talk about that a bit if you want. But mostly, we're talking about aliens. Aliens. Yep, that's what we're doing. It's mostly that, but good. Thanks for coming, Johnny Fettler. I'm sure we'll get into the left-wing insanity of the internet at some point. Well, it's less insane than it used to be. Thanks to Elon. Oh, Elon Musk. Did you see Stephen Fry the other day? He made me laugh. He said, I know he's a part of the left-wing insanity, but he still made me laugh. He said, oh, Elon Musk is not a Nazi. Elon Musk can't be a Nazi because Nazis make good cars. He's got a good sense of humour. Whatever you say about him. Yeah, I've got a few hours left on this. It resets on Wednesday, so that's right. But I'm not going to pay for StreamYard, of course. But because apparently everyone who's paid for StreamYard says it's gone downhill, like Spreaker. It's like costing more and you get less for it. Lance says, I don't know. There are lots of left wingers coping about Trump already. They are, yes. I mean, there's the Trump derangement syndrome. It's somehow not quite as bad as it was in 2016, but it's still there. It's still there. Hello, John Fused. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I thought I would do a little bit of. I'd do this live stream. I mean, I wasn't going to do this till maybe Monday, but I suddenly realised I'm not going to have time. It's like I'm in a bit of a. I'm working hard at the moment. I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot with my daughter. I'm talking to my daughter a lot because, we're having a sort of family sort of thing. DJ B2, have you seen Anna Paulina Luna's bikini vids? Yes, they're well worth watching, I must say. Yes, and she had like MAGA on. She wore her Trump bikinis. Yes, indeed. And on the subject of gorgeous birds doing the right thing, did you see Tulsi Gabbard mentioned UFOs at her acceptance confirmation hearing? Did you see it? She mentioned UFOs in her opening hearing. I mean, yeah. Lance, thanks very much. Yeah, things are not too bad. We're sort of like improving. Well, things are improving, I think. We're having a kind of like heart-to-heart at the moment to try and improve things, yeah. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Yes, Tulsi Gabbard was at her confirmation hearing. She's going to be the new Director of National Intelligence. And she actually said, I wrote an article about it. This is we're going off. This is going to be on topic. You can go and read this if you want. But she said here, in our meetings, many of you have expressed bipartisan frustration about recent intelligence failures, the lack of responsiveness to your request for information, UAPs, drones, and more. If confirmed, I look forward to working with you on this issue. That's unbelievable. I mean, it would be understandable if she knocked the little green men on the head just because of this is a crucial turning point in her career. You'd think like that would be understandable. I would excuse her for that, but she actually brought it up in her confirmation hearing. My God. Nothing as it seems. Bernie's onesie. Whatever floats your boat, mate. Whatever floats your boat. It's not my sort of thing, but there you go. DJ B2. Is it me or has Christina Gomez grown in the bust area? I hadn't noticed. I don't know how old you are. She's a little bit young for me, but if you know, I don't know. Where was it? Did you? I literally was watching this just before I came onto the. Just before I came on, I got this on screen share. Yeah, literally just before I came on to do the live stream, I was watching this latest thing of hers.
Keep it fresh.
Oh, Jesus.
Archives research.
I honestly, I didn't notice. I didn't notice. Maybe not. Well, she is sort of like she's. I don't know. She's growing. She's growing up, isn't she? Less than average. Hi, Ben. You're looking good, big boy. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Declassified JFK. Have we heard about that yet? No, because you see, unfortunately, it's not as simple as him just signing the executive order. Then suddenly we know all about it. She signed the executive order. The executive order is basically an order for his officials. 15 of it. He's got the officials have 15 days to put within. The executive have 15 days to put together a plan for getting the information out of the national security state. This doesn't mean the national security state is going to just say, "Oh, right, here you are." The same with what I'm going to talk about tonight. I don't know how this lives matter. No, this could be. I think it's going to be tricky. It may not work. But the very fact that he's actually done this is incredible. I mean, I said this in my Trump lives. Yeah. I like bubes, small, medium, or large, as Nihilist lives matter. Yes. Well, it's good on you, mate. Good on you. I'm sort of medium to large personally, but yeah, if that's what you like. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to do this on Monday because I wanted to give you guys more chance to watch the first video. This is really a follow-on, this live stream, to my video called Catastrophic D on Reddit, D standing for disclosure. If you've not seen this, I mean, you may get something out of this if you've not seen it, but here we go. And this article itself, this video is based on this article I wrote in December. So yeah, this is kind of a follow-on from that. Lance says, I did joke to you about this in Discord. I don't expect anything to come out, but it's a good gesture. It is. It's. I remember, Lance, because we've been talking on Discord about this. It may be that something will come out of it, but even if it doesn't, the fact that we have a president who is willing to take these measures that no other president has done, with a guy, people in his cabinet, people like Tulsi Gabbard and JFK Jr., RFK Jr., and that's a bit of a Freudian slip there, wasn't it? Oh, I'm jumping the gun there. I'm jumping the gun. JFK Jr. Yes. Yes, that was a slight oblique reference to that little letter of the alphabet, which we can't talk about on YouTube. The one that comes after the 16th letter and before the 18th letter. Yes. Hello, Pat Riot. How are you? Nice. I started watching but fall asleep. DJ B2. I'm seven beers in. These 9 p.m. street starts. Yes, I bet Hugo Roon will turn up with about half his spliffs in the tin gone, won't he? But hello, Solo. How are you? Driver done it. Oh no, this thing where Martin Greer turns around with a pistol. It's actually a trick of the light. Solo. It wasn't him. Hello, Sweeps. Tulsi Gabbard forced to go back on her objection to full public spying and surveillance in order to continue her confirmation hearing. She's now dropping her objection. Oh, I mean, I do hope she sticks by her gun, Sweeps, because so many of them don't. I mean, this is the problem. When they get close to the centers of authority, there's this huge pressure to compromise and to mellow. We've seen this in this country with Nigel Farage and with Kemi Badenoch. They've both weakened considerably as they've gained seniority. Kemi's now the leader of the opposition. Nigel now is an MP, and you can just see them. You can see like the almost like the energy draining out of them as they get close to the seats of power. Driver didn't shoot JFK. No, there's a theory. There used to be a theory that Martin Greer, the driver, had very quickly turned around and shot Kennedy with a pistol. You think you see a pistol glint of light on a gun in his hand. It's actually coming off the top of his head on the Zapruder film. It does happen the moment, though, that the second bullet comes from probably the grassy knoll. Lance, there's a subreddit for federal employees, and they're currently having a meltdown about Trump's new policies. It's fantastic. We can only hope for more change and more transparency. Well, serve them right. Serve them right. Hello, Hatchie. How are you? Greer has been putting Elizondo down. Oh dear, Ben. Oh, well, you think about Greer is, I mean, yeah, I said this before. He's accusing Elizondo of being a shill. I mean, the problem with Greer is Greer can't stand it that disclosure is not all about him. He wants it to be all centered on his sweaty, testosterone-filled ball bag, doesn't he? He can't bear it that he's not now the only player in the field. He's so up his own arse. That bloke is so up his own arse he could kiss the inside of his own tonsils, honestly. All right. Lance, I'm still new to this alien thing. Oh, Lance, you're jumping in the deep. I must say you're going to jump in the deep end tonight. You are, but we will try. I'll try to help you keep up. I'm just going to go through a couple of things I missed. I want to address some issues that I missed in the original video, and also some new things. I'm also going to read some comments that were posted as well on the last video. But first of all, of course, the notice comments. There's only one on the notice, which I've now deleted. Not the comment, the notice itself. Macca the Gypsies once again pops up. Yes, you need help, Ben. There is no other life outside of Earth in the universe. You are being pranked big time. There's loads of laughter emojis on this, by the way. You believe anything, Ben? Who was a hospital porter 30 years ago? Well, firstly, I mean, the only reason I tolerate this troll is because he has an entertainment value that a lot of other trolls don't have. There is life outside the Earth in the universe, and we're very close to proving it. Am I being pranked? I mean, I may be being pranked not the way you think. Maybe there's a fake alien invasion scenario. I don't believe anything. You say I was a hospital porter 30 years ago. I was a hospital porter 30 years ago, yes. In fact, I was almost 40 years ago. I started in 1989 in hospital portering. Was it? Yeah, it was April 89. Yeah, I started in the first job in the end of 1988, and I actually joined the porters in April 89. You believe, and so, but see, the thing is, I actually was a hospital porter 14 years ago as well. It's actually just over 13 years since I got sacked. Right. I wanted to say a bit more about firstly, the background picture. Everyone wants to, you may want. I didn't give you enough information about this. The background picture. It is because a lot of you will have asked this. I'm sure I'm going to get. I haven't actually checked through the comments yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments. Ben, well, where did you get it from? If that is a leaked image, well, I'm afraid it was from a YouTube video. It was just from a YouTube video. I'm sorry. But I'll just show it to you now. Now, this obviously, if it's a YouTube video, that doesn't mean it's real. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily unreal. And this is the big problem, ladies and gents. This is the big issue. Is that, if real information comes out about aliens, it is likely to appear somewhere on social media first. That's where it's likely first to appear. Okay, and so we do have a little bit of a situation where you may actually be confronted with real evidence in the form I'm about to show it to you. And of course, the backslappers will say, nothing burger, grifters, all right. And the skeptics will say, it's fake, all right. But unfortunately, we have a little bit of a little boy who cried wolf situation here. Because this is why I try to use my intuition, as I explained in the first video, and address those that feel right, that have that ring of authenticity. This is the video. Okay, it's got no soundtrack on it, and it actually has like a Wikipedia thing, Dulcie bass. I'm claiming fair use on this, by the way, and it's by someone called Avraham Matola, who I think is Israeli. I do sub to him, and I actually put a comment here. If this video had appeared today, I would have rejected it immediately. But back in 2012, this is more likely to be real. That's because it was posted 12 years ago. Now, I was slightly exaggerating. I wouldn't actually reject it today, but I'd be more questionable. I would be more questionable about it. I mean, this is a bit like the Skinny Bob video, if you've seen that. I think was it Steve Mayer just did a thing about Skinny Bob? I don't know. But anyway, you see this flying saucer here? Very poor quality. This is probably an old film. Oh. Maybe this is from the original, when the Dulcie bass started, was 1950 something. I don't know what that is. Looks like, is that inside some laboratory? And there, look, this is the grey alien. It's rather like the Alien Interview, the one that Jon Stewart talks about with them. No, yeah, is that real or not? But that's my background, basically. Supposedly a real alien from inside Dulcie Base, New Mexico. Oh, this must be the outside of Dulcie Base. That must be. I think it just repeats. This is just to repeat this bit. Yeah, it just repeats. Anyway, that's I don't know what this means. This is Hebrew. This is colloquial Hebrew. He must be Israeli. And his channel's actually pretty good. He's got some good stuff on here. There's stuff about some of it is actually. I don't think all of it is in English. David Icke, Julian Assange. I haven't actually I've only looked at a couple more of his videos. Some of them I don't think are in English. Some of them are just in Hebrew. But he's the one who's posted this, definitely. Hello, observer. Looks like Russell. It does. So I can't go through all your comments, guys. Sorry, but apologies if I miss any comments. If you particularly want me to answer a comment, I don't have a super chat function. Just repeat it. Just cut and paste it and repeat it. But he does look a bit like Russell. Nihilist Lives Matter is, if aliens come down and say, take me to your community leader, diversity is your strength, it might be a psyop. Yeah, despite my anti-backslapper stance, Nihilist, I think if they actually turned up and said that, I would be suspicious. Rick, hello. Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, you were here earlier, weren't you? I think you left the first comment. So that is the actual one. Now, a little bit more about the recruitment thing, because, well, I'm not sure how much I should tell you, but something weird has happened. Something weird happened to me that made me. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Something weird happened to me long ago. I'm not sure how much I should say about this, but you see, it is similar to what spies do. This guy, this particular applicant for this job, this person, said I have a PhD in molecular biology. I didn't actively seek to be part of this program. Rather, it was a stroke of luck to introduce me to one of the senior scientists. I'll show it to you. This is our biology one. I met this person at a conference when I was presenting a poster on my PhD research. I think that it was rather the most important aspect of professional life, the attitude and ease with which you make connections. Shortly afterwards, I graduated and received a call from this person offering me a position. At the time, everything pointed to me working in a regular laboratory. Right. So first of all, he didn't approach them. They approached him. They thought he was the right kind of person. Hello, crafty nihilist. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for informing me earlier what the watermelon means. I didn't know that. It's not environment. It's not George Monbiot. It's something else. You see, in this case, they approached him. The applicant didn't approach the employer. The employer approached the applicant. So at some point, they must have. The talent scout, as I explained in the first film. Oh yeah, but it'd be lovely to meet you, Crafty. It'd be lovely. Yes, the talent scout in the original film. Obviously, something about him just made him look like he'd be a good candidate for the job. And once that was, they may have done some. What's the word? They might have done some background check. Solo says Michael Salas spoke about it. Oh, could you find me the link, Solo, please? Because Salah talks about loads of stuff, and he varies. I think he varies in his credibility. Hello, Williamism. How are you? Welcome, Big Ben, Big Ben, Big Ben, Big Ben. So they approached him. Something about maybe it was a combination of how he came across at this conference when they met him, and something about his background. This could be he had a reputation for keeping quiet about certain things, or he had the right psychological profile, or he had some secrets he didn't want his wife to know, or it could be a woman. Like I said, I am going to use the male pronoun and make the assumption that this is a man, and that's not misogyny. It's simply because there's an uncertainty of who this person is. They don't specify what their gender is, and so I'm going to assume he's male. If I'm wrong, and I'll apologise, but I don't. But you see, I'm not a feminist, so I'm not going to say, well, he or she. It might be a woman. I'm not going to say that. So maybe it's something about their background, maybe something about their publications. But then they approached him, and when they approached him, they didn't go up to him and say, "Hey, mate, do you want to work? We got a project where we've got dead aliens in a freezer. Do you want to come and work for us?" No, they didn't. They came up to him and said, "We have an exciting opportunity for an upcoming young PhD graduate we think you might be interested in. It will involve some very, very sensitive work for a national security contractor with a good salary, lots of responsibility, and a chance to be at the cutting edge of latest developments." That's what they would say. That is what they bloody said. That's how they do it. Now, this is extremely like... This is exceedingly like what, as I explained in the previous video, how spies are recruited. This is how George Blake... Well, George Blake was slightly different because he was recruited in Korea during the war there. But people like Kim Philby, Anthony Blunt, Guy Burgess, these people were recruited in this way. They made the right noises at Cambridge, and the right people came along and sort of like said, "No, these guys will be good for what we want to do." Lance says here, a very broad question, but what aliens do you believe in? That is very broad. I'll try to clarify as I go along, Lance, because it's too long to really put into a single answer. See how we are living. Putting dead aliens in a freezer might not be a good idea. Well, it would be if you want to keep them for a long time. And to me, it's the fact that these aliens appear to have injuries on them indicates they were from a crash retrieval. They possibly the aliens from the Roswell incident, and they've been kept for like 80 years in that freezer. Now, so they said we want you to work on this project. We're not going to say too much about it, but it's an exciting new appointment for an up-and-coming scientist in the field of biological research and molecular biology. And we think you'd be perfect for it. And then it's only after that then they gradually introduce more information into this. Now, yeah, Solar Ben, any news on the Rendlesham documentary? Cable Green, no, I don't have any news. I'm sorry. Sweeps, hello, Sweeps. Sweeps says, did Radio 2 shows with Greer? Know him better than any. You did 2 radio shows with Greer. Know him better than anyone here. He takes steroids and can't accept that bad aliens exist. He's quite ignorant of the remote viewing BS. It's all from Scientology. True. Yes, Sweeps. Basically, you've been doing this a long time, this radio stuff, and I'm not surprised you've talked to him. He's got these really stupid ideas, which I've talked about before on the channel. Yeah. So yeah, and DJ says the dude moaned that it was more lab tech work. Yeah, he felt he was overqualified for doing this. He or she, I've got to get out of that feminist habit. He or she, he felt he was overqualified for what he was doing, but presumably he was getting well paid for it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. He would have quit. But he just feels he's doing like so clearly it was not his expertise that they brought him into the project for. It was something else. It was a personal quality. Now, I'm not going to say too much about this, but something like this did happen to me. When I was suspended from the hospital, something weird happened. I started getting phone calls from people, offering me all kinds of things. They offered to help me out with my legal case, and then they also suggested like filming projects and things we could do together. Now, I was polite to these people. I talked to them openly. I'm not going to name these people because I got no evidence against them. But then, strangely enough, there was a certain point when those phone calls just stopped. And this is what this might happen. You may, spies, sometimes when talent scouts go and approach a spy, and this would include somebody who is recruited into a project like this. There's a point where they may pull out. They may say, well, this nut is not for cracking. He's no good. So we actually abort this particular mission to recruit this person, and it's just the whole thing just stopped. These phone calls just stopped very suddenly. It's really weird. Solo says, are there rumors that Santos Bonacci has passed away? Have you heard anything? No, I haven't. I haven't looked at much at Bonacci lately. I went to a couple of his live shows. My ex-partner was very into him. Susan, she was very into him. He went all flat Earth for a while, very extreme flat Earth. He was even calling people globetards and things like that, which is very which to me, I mean, I don't get angry with flat Earthers, but he was getting angry with round Earthers like me. So in this case, they approached him. And what happened was, he describes here that he was given some interviews, 3 suspicious interviews, set each in a different location, where my scientific background and knowledge became less and less relevant. The first were with 2 senior scientists. The second and third were people I've never seen again, who were obviously not interested in science. Yeah, they're probably CIA. And then on the 4th location, a corporate lawyer presented me with an NDA. And then he's given a bit of background with these various reports and things, and then he's allowed to work on the aliens and stuff like this. So that's basically how the recruitment process works. Now, there we go. It gets more interesting here. The aliens, I mean, the way he describes them, I've just, like I said, he's described them as being like artificial beings. He describes them as artificial, ephemeral, and disposable organisms created for a purpose that still partially eludes us. That's kind of what feminists say about white men, isn't it? Stop with the feminist jokes, Ben. But yeah, the artificial, ephemeral, disposable organisms created for a purpose that still partially eludes us. I've heard that from so many other people. This idea that these are kind of living robots created by the reptilians or the mantids, etc., and that they're not really it's. And this goes on more and more and more. He talks about their internal workings and the weird situation with the sweating and stuff like that. The sweating and the urine. And he says it's all. There's this hepatorenal organ, and then everything is just oozes out onto the skin. I mean, that's why they smell bad. I mean, a lot of people say that the aliens smell bad. Everyone from Whitley Strieber to the Virginia witnesses say that. DJ says programmed life forms. Yes, PGLFs. What I do disagree with the people who just say they're made by humans in secret laboratories. I don't believe that, because if they were, firstly, humans in secret laboratories wouldn't be studying them, and secondly, they would have appeared a lot more recently. They would have started appearing a lot more recently, whereas their antiquity indicates that they've been around long before we even had modern science. So the smell of sulfur, yes, all this urine-like substance just oozes out of them. It has peristalsis. By the way, peristalsis, I should explain. Peristalsis is how in your body, there's sometimes like muscles on the outside of various ducts which actually push things along. A good example is your gullet. When you drink, when you eat, when you swallow, it doesn't just fall down. There's actually an active movement of musculature in the gullet which actually pushes it down. That's called peristalsis. And in this case, that there's a small version of that on the various vessels that take this substance from the hepatorenal organ to the skin pores where it is excreted. Yes, Nihilus, yeah, literally pissy skin tone. Yes, literally pissy skin. Observer. Maybe these aliens don't understand what soap is. I imagine they'd have to wash quite well. Probably it doesn't bother them really, the smell, because it's part of their nature. But yeah, I mean that I told you about that PE teacher at my school. This bloke, I can't remember his name. He wasn't a regular PE teacher, but we didn't want to go off. We didn't want to go in. I hated having showers at PE because it's really a dirty trick they play on you. They make you strip naked in front of the other boys. And this is a time when we're at an age where we're very sensitive about our bodies. We're all going through puberty, and it's very, very, it's very embarrassing. But this teacher said, well, you need to have a shower because you get covered in sweat when you're playing PE, when you're doing PE, and you have to wash it off because it's the same substance that comes out of you when you wee. It's basically the same stuff as urine, and that's bollocks. That's bullshit. As I said, I hope this guy's not a biology teacher, but that's what they told us. It's the same stuff. And in this case, it is. In this case, it is the same substance. Urine and sweat are the same things. And what's more, they don't have a separate urinary tract or urinary system. They have this hepatorenal organ, and it goes out through their skin. Crafty Nihilist says, where is it? Here we go. Pissy skin tone sounds like a David Lynch character. Yeah. It's someone you could imagine living in Twin Peaks. One of the weird people who live in the mobile homes in Twin Peaks. Yeah. Hachi Plum Island. What question mark? Well, that's interesting. You mentioned that because Plum Island was open at the time from the 2000s to the 2010s. Now, the whole Plum Island thing has moved. This was the Department of Agriculture's laboratory, which is somewhere where a secret project like that might be placed. It's now moved off an island where you can contain diseases, even though they didn't manage to contain Lyme disease. But it's been moved, guess where? Right into the heart of the continental United States. So if anything escapes now, there's no way to contain it because there's no island to put it on. DJ, I refrained from showers after PE because the PDP teacher was a PDF file. Yeah, I think a lot of them are. I mean, one of them used to stare at me, and I didn't like the way he used to stare at me when I was in the shower. David says here, demons classically smell of sulfur. It's the stink of demons and hell. The Virginia aliens both looked like classic demons, complete with stubby horns, and smelled of demonic sulfur. Well, that could explain. I mean, these three girls, when they saw it, they ran home and told their mother, "Oh my God, we just seen the devil, or we just saw a demon." And of course, these are inland, rural, working class Brazilians. They are devout Roman Catholics. How else are they going to interpret it? What if this to me is, and James Fox makes this point, this to me is proof of that they're not making it up. If they were making it up, and it's like, why don't they make up stuff about aliens then? Oh, right, Nihilist Matt, yes, it's moved to Kentucky, right in the middle of farmland. Yes, you have an agricultural disease center, developing all kinds of cultures for various diseases that can affect livestock and crops. And where'd you put it? In the middle of the bloody grain belt of the United States. It's almost as if they want something to break out, isn't it? I made this point in my zombie talk. P, I heard, is used to make a philosopher's stone. Well, it can't be very nice philosopher's stone. It's not very philosophical. DJ says, I think it's a theme. Our gym teacher had a window installed in her office wall facing our lockers to watch all the girls dressing, and they allowed it. Oh, right. Ugh, dearie me. That's gross, Green Tea. Sorry, are you female? I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you were male. I'm sorry. Are you female? Yeah. Honestly, if I would, the first thing I would do if I could go back to be a teenager again, because we all do this, don't we? I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done that. I'd leave school as soon as I could. I wouldn't even stay for my exams. I'd just get the fuck out of school because it's a horrible, horrible place. I hated school. I did actually leave, but I stayed on a few months longer than I could have done. I should have just left as soon as I could, but I ended up staying on about 6 months. Idiot that I was. Sweep says lots of ET alien beings are very humanoid looking, similar to Nordics, even tall whites, meaning they came here without having to be robotic or they acclimatized quickly. Food for thought. Yes, I mean lots of sweeps, lots of abductees actually report this. People like Travis Walton report that they look almost like we do. I mean, you'd hardly look at these people twice if they were just put on normal clothes and they were walking down the street. Lance, there's a new virus in China, only reported by Indian sources, so don't take it as fact. Yes, I think we need 2 weeks to flatten the curve, Lance. All right, so Observer. More fanny jokes. Yes. I think in Spain the Spanish speakers are gonna have to come up with another term. They really are. Because it makes it too easy for us gringos to take the mickey out of us. Yeah, and they have no olfactory. They don't smell. The olfactory bulbs. They don't seem to have, even though they themselves stink. Maybe this is why they put up with it, because they themselves don't seem to have a sense of smell because they have no olfactory nerves. So their nose is not actually the purpose of their nose, and it's just like I said, the classic grey alien, as this man said or woman said. It doesn't seem to be for the purpose of smell. It's just for filtering air. That's it. Now, as you know, the issue of Battelle Memorial Institute came up in the Q&A, and you can see it on the biology. If you go to our biology version, he actually says here, "Oh my, WTF! He dropped the location of the lab." Right. What they mean is this person accidentally let slip where they really were. It was not Fort Detrick. That was a red herring, and they said they'd introduce red herrings to protect themselves. And they said Battelle National Biodefense Institute. I've written to Irina Scott to ask her about this. She hasn't got back to me yet, but I did write to Irina Scott, who if you read Sacred Corridors and her other books, she was at Battelle herself and dealt with UFO issues. But this person, obviously, this does. I'm not saying that Irina was involved in this program. She may well not have been. Battelle National Biodefense Institute. Where is it? Here we go. Let me just show you. It supports national biodefense. Right. In biodefense, there's no statement more powerful than the first words of the new federal biodefense strategy. It is a vital interest of the United States to manage the risk of biological incidents. Yeah, this is the kind of place that it would happen, actually. They would do this. Battelle is like this. This is one of the biggest private research centers in the United States. According to Jeremy Reese, the alien scientist, they basically run the entire national defense science projects in the US. They're a private organization. They're not national. They're a contractor. And you can find all kinds of stories about rabbits here, from rabbits to research, health, national security. I don't think you're going to find a tab here on aliens. We could have a look, shall we? Let's just have a look. This will probably get my. This will raise alarm bells. I'll probably get swatted after this. Aliens. Let's have a look. What you get? Aliens. Search results. Tips and tricks for applying your landing. Service to. And right, this doesn't seem to be anything here. I'll just put you. I won't put UFO. I'll put UAP. See what I get. Search results. Wow, even Battelle solvers couldn't find what you were searching for. Would you like to try another search? Okay, I'll put UFO. No, nothing on UFOs. Okay, I'll put Roswell. Let's have a look. No, nothing on Roswell. This does not mean it's not there. Oh, DJP2. I drove past Porton Down during the foot and mouth outbreak. Right. Yep, but this is rather like Porton Down. The Battelle is located, it's a company, but it's located in various places. Let's have a look, please. I'll just put it into Google Maps, see what we get. Right, here we are. It's actually not in the main Battelle area, which is where Irina was. It's actually here in Maryland. It's not in Ohio, it's in Maryland. Just have a look at it here. So this person let slip that they were actually in this location here. Battelle National Biodefense Institute. Now, let's have a look. Can you get a street view of it? Let's just see. No, there are no street views, not even anywhere near it. There's I think this is this the same? So is this all Fort Detrick? Because if that case that is Fort Detrick, then yes, I think all this is Fort Detrick. No, all right, this is Fort Detrick. This area here, and Battelle is up here. Fort Detrick, Maryland. And you have some other research buildings here. And as I said, there's no. Where's the nearest street view? This is the nearest street view. You can get onto this Rosemont Avenue. And that's it all over there. That's as close as you can get to Fort Detrick. And this person was at the Battelle Institute up here. Can only look at it from above. So they're saying basically it was in a basement facility under this building. So where we don't know where it was, we don't know. Yeah, but it is like Porton Down. Yeah, it is like that. Did someone find me that Michael Salla thing? I'm curious to see what he says on Michael Salla. There we go. Michael Salla. I might find it actually. I was watching this thing on, was it UMTV the other day with him? He must be an old one because he looks young in it. I'll just put here Reddit and see what I get. Nope, nothing on Reddit. What else can I put in? Aliens. Oh, God, that's going to be every video, isn't it? Yeah. No, if you can help me, whoever saw that, and find the video, find the right video, I'll be very, very grateful. Has anyone else turned up? And I've got to say hello to them. Right. The question, I suppose, the next question is: could this be fake? Because what proof is there? And the answer is yes, it could be fake. There are several people there's a lot of disagreement in the comments. If you look at the comments underneath, there's a huge amount of controversy and disagreement, including people who are scientifically trained and say, I have some issues with this. Other one says that this is someone who is scientifically trained. A LARPer with biochemistry degree and the help of ChatGPT wrote a fictional story. The whole thing is loaded with inconsistencies. The reason it was posted on a subreddit full of conspiracy nuts, and some idiots fell for it. Yeah, here we got a backslapper. We got a backslapper here. But you see, the thing is, they might be right. The backslappers are sometimes right. And it appears this person, whatever reason, this person has disappeared. They've gone. They've just gone. And this could be because They were spooked because they accidentally let slip that they were at this Battelle place, this Battelle National Defence Establishment, Battelle National Biodefence. And that they suddenly realize, oh my God, oh, here we go. Oh, I've got another website now. This is a different website. Protecting the American public from biological threats and aliens. Yes. You can have a look at this. Since the inception of the DHS, the National Defense Analysis Countermeasures. All right, so this is something new, right? National Bioanalysis Center, National Biological Threat Characterization. This is actually the kind of place where you would have like very secret material to do with aliens. If there were aliens, this is the kind of place where it would happen. Let's do some more searches. Again, someone's going to say, oh, this is going to get my aliens. This is going to, sorry, no pass, right? This is going to get me monitored. People are going to know that someone's searching for aliens and UAP and UFOs on this particular website. That must mean an alarm's going to go off, and I'm going to have no, nothing on UFOs. All right then. I'm best thing to look at the Wikipedia page. Battelle, here we go. Right. Battelle Memorial Institute. Here we go. You guys all right in there in chat? I'll come back to your comments in a minute. I'm nearly through with my notes. The Battelle Memorial Institute, or simply Battelle, is an American private non-profit applied science and technology development company headquartered in Columbus, Ohio. The institute opened in 1929, but traces its origins to the 1923 will of Ohio industrialist Gordon Battelle, which provided for its creation, and his mother, Annie Maud Norton Battelle, who left the bulk of the family fortune to the institute after her death in 1925. Originally focusing on contract research and development in work areas of metals and material science. Right, that's the field that Irina was involved in, according to her book. She would go around trying to melt certain metals and doing metallurgy on various things. She had to find a special forge to melt the Roswell material because they couldn't find anything hot enough. It melted about 2,500 degrees. It's really, really amazing metal. Battelle is now an international science and technology enterprise that explores emerging areas of science, develops and commercializes technology, and manages laboratories for its customers. It has 3,200 employees and manages another 29,500 in 10 United States Department of Energy laboratories. Oh, so Jeremy was right. Jeremy Reese, the alien scientist, Jeremy Reese. It looks like they do have like it seems to be have a management role in the U.S. military scientific institutions. And I think this website is the one I looked at earlier. No, it's not. It's a different website. Yeah. All right, here we go again. Aliens search results. All right, I think that's okay, here we go. UAP. No. And UFO. Let's have a look. No, they've got nothing there about it. Here we go. It just talks about its organization here. From 1969 to 75, the Institute was involved in a lawsuit. Oh, forget that's just organizational. Battelle serves the following: agribusiness, cannabis research. Hey, Hugo Rune, cannabis research. You should be a guinea pig. Encapsulation, formulation, environmental effects, spray drift, droplet characterization, ecology, environment, scientific data packages, etc., etc. Aliens, UFOs. No, it doesn't say aliens, UFOs. National security, aviation and aerospace technologies, chemical and biological defense systems, cyber innovations, etc. This is the kind of place where you would have that. It is the kind of place, though. In addition to its Columbus, Ohio headquarters, Battelle has offices in Aberdeen, Maryland. Oh, right, not in Scotland. Ohio, Seattle, Washington, Arlington, Knoll, Charlottesville, Baltimore, Boulder, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. That's where all the drones were, New Jersey. So all over the country, all over the US. Yeah. Here is it. Federal government project management. In addition to operating its own facilities, as of 2022, Battelle managed or co-managed on behalf of the United States Department of Energy. There you go. Brookhaven National Laboratory, Idaho. Lawrence Livermore. These are all famous and infamous names. Los Alamos. There we are. Oak Ridge. These are all very, very famous national. These, you know about these. If you ever study esoteric science, you'll come across these names. And here we go on behalf of the Department of Homeland Security, National Defense Biodefense Analysis and Countermeasures Center. And that, I think, is the place which we've just been talking about. At Fort Detrick, there we go. So it was Fort Detrick. That wasn't that was not a complete red herring. It's not actually within the place itself. It's within Battelle's own headquarters, but there we go. It's a government biodefense laboratory created by the US Department of Homeland Security. So it's quite recent, it's quite new. Biodefense Research Institution. Background and mission. It was created as a federal response to the anthrax letter attacks of 2001. Oh yeah, those ones where, you know what, the strain of anthrax was the same as the CIA's, yeah. And you can read all this. It just talks about bioterrorism, biological attack, etc. Significance of the operation. In June 2017, this was after this person left, Daniel M. Gerstein, senior policy researcher at the RAND Corporation. That's another one. That's psychological warfare, the RAND Corporation. So it's quite recent. It only appeared in the 2000s. Under President Trump's fiscal year, NBAC stands to lose funding. All right. We'll see what he does with it now. Facilities. They operate at biosafety levels of 2, 3, and 4. Right. So remember, if biosafety levels 2 and 3 were the ones in the alien laboratory, NBAC's biosafety level 4 that's the top level, allows facilities to research pathogens that have no existing vaccines or treatments. That's like Ebola is level 4. Notable accomplishments. The NBAC achieved a superior Defense Security Service rating for analyzing the genetics of aliens. No, it didn't. Has a national biosafety level 3 and 4 aerobiology capabilities. Controversy and response. No, let's just see if there's anything here about aliens. No, there's nothing here about aliens. All right, that's well, there you go. Right. I think, where do I go to my is that everything on my notes? Let's have a look. Oh, no, I've had some interesting. I had some comments on Odyssey, which I want to read out. I will come back to these again in the next reply to comments video. But on the Odyssey version of the upload of my last video, that is the catastrophic disclosure on Reddit. I'll come to your comments in a minute, guys, because you've left some good ones. Someone called Missing Trillions appeared. Now, this is got nothing to do with Donald Rumsfeld, I should add. But this person left some very interesting comments on here, which I thanked him or her for, and I will be addressing them in the next reply to comments videos. I am a biochemistry graduate and have done postgraduate research in the field of molecular biology, looking at mechanisms of DNA damage and repair. I have sufficient expertise to fully understand the Reddit post, and in my opinion, it makes overall sense and uses terminology appropriately throughout. Just to be clear, I've never done any work on exobiological specimens. I'm glad to hear it. The person who wrote this has a broad-based biological education because they are also comment meaningfully about the physiology, anatomy, and cytology of the exo beings. Gary Nolan is not a good fit because he received his PhD in 1989 and was busy founding biotech companies in the first decade of this century. I would think this is someone a bit younger. Gary's openness about being an experiencer would also most likely prevent him from being recruited to such a project. Right. Thank you very much. That's interesting, because I did say, could it be Gary Nolan? But what you just said here makes sense. I did say it may well not be someone who's active in the current UFO community, but it was a question, because the reason I asked that was simply because I thought, well, somebody, it's somebody who knows a lot about biology and is involved with the UFOs. Gary Nolan was a name that did pop into my head. And now he or she left another comment here. I'm in no position to say definitively if the article is fake or not, and I doubt many people are. It could have been faked by many people educated in the biological sciences to degree level who have done courses or research skewed towards molecular biology or genetics. At the same time, there are no red flags in the article which point to fakery, and there are a lot of things which conform to how I would imagine a program being set up if it did exist. Such a program being set up if it exists. Yeah, I should add... I think this person, if this person wanted to fake it, and this could be faked by someone with the knowledge to do so. It could be. They probably wouldn't just put it on Reddit. They would spread it further. They would probably try to make something out of it, or probably push it to see how far it would go. This person just basically came in, dumped, and left. That's what they did. It's just in, drop this material, get out. That's what they did. They stayed around to answer a few questions, then they just got out, and they have not been back. If they were faking it, they would have said something like, well, I'm in hiding at the moment. I've had to leave the country because of what I said, etc., etc. They haven't done that. They've just disappeared. And this is over a year ago now. This person continues. Anyone in the business of recruiting to such a program would be faced with a conundrum of how to minimize the total number of individuals who have contact with it, and at the same time minimize the number that have big picture insight into the full scope and direction of the program as a whole. Yeah, in other words, stovepiping, compartmentalization. Yes, completely. Engaging people for 15 years sounds about right as a compromise. A shorter term would increase the total number of individuals with some knowledge of the project and the likelihood of creating a whistleblower. A longer term, up to and including an entire career, would place much more of a psychological burden on those doing this sort of work and create more people with dangerous levels of insight into the whole program. Right. So this person is basically saying here that this person did work. All he or she says is they worked from the mid 2000s to the mid 2010s, about a decade, which would fit. That would fit. They continue. A team of 25 people makes a great deal of sense because you can envisage 5 people in each of the 5 specialisms which are inferred in the article. 1, physiology. 2, cytology. 3, immunology. 4, genetics. 5, molecular biology. In each subgroup of 5, you would have 1 recent recruit being trained up, and then different levels of expertise up to 15 years fed by a rolling recruitment scheme, headhunting recent PhDs. Headhunting, yeah, that's another good way of putting it. This structure also chimes well with the 4 senior scientists mentioned and 1 overall manager as 5 team leaders. The senior scientists might be in it for their entire career, having been selected for mental stability, loyalty, and ability to provide a sense of continuity. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Well, thank you, Missing Trillions, for that interesting insight. And I'll certainly come back to your comment in the next reply to comments video. We may have more information. Right. That's the end of my notes. Let's see what people are saying. Hatchie says, crop circles, Ben. It's a big topic. Reg Presley set me on my path of wisdom, R.I.P. Yeah, I read his book, Wild Things They Don't Tell You, which, of course, is a reference to the Trogs song. So it's a really classic book, that is. And he's a really nice. Solo says, take care, I'm off ski. Love, light, and peace and harmony to all, believe. See you, Solo. Thanks for posting. David says, the anatomy of these aliens is homologous to humans and animal kind on Earth. Therefore, the most likely explanation is they are related to life on Earth instead of being unrelated. Yes, I went through a few of the possibilities in the original video, and yeah, that seems to be. There are several other explanations, but the one you posed is the most likely. They are somehow related to us, or whatever has created them has used terrestrial DNA in the construction of their their artificial genome. See how we're living. Dolan did a good expose of the Rand Corp on UFO conspiracy paper. Right, yeah. Definitely. I remember your Chris Kaz video. Is it still up, Ben? Chris Kaz solo. I don't know who you mean. Sorry, you've gone now, but I don't know who you mean. I'm sorry. Chris Kaz. You don't mean Kaz Clark. Those are all up, yeah. The aliens must have some wonderful cooling devices if inside the top of a volcano, actually. Yes, they do sort of do that, don't they? They sort of hang around. They're often seen at volcanoes, yeah. Hutchison effect. Oh, Crafty, did you go to? Have you been? Is that conference? There's an occult conference coming up in Glastonbury. I can't get to it, but did you go? See how we're living. You don't want to be touching those Virginia specimens. No. Well, the Marco de Ceresi, the guy who actually did touch them, died. He was a 21-year-old, fit 21-year-old policeman. No previous health problems. Died within days of touching them. Yes, he got that alien piss on him, and that killed him. I'm just going to ask Connor. Say hello to Connor for me, would you, Crafty? Yes, Porton Down. Yes, it's Porton Down is very similar actually to this. It's basically the British equivalent actually of Battelle. It's next weekend, man. Got a stall. We'll miss you. Connor said hi. Hi, Connor. I'll miss you too, Crafty. I really will. I'm sorry I can't go. It's time and money and things. I'm having to do some serious saving for contacts in the desert. Actually, I paid for some of it, not all of it. What about Operation Stargate? Sounds like alien contact via AI. Is that Gary Nolan's project? Hatchie says, hallelujah to DJ B2. I've just made some homemade cheese and the clangers from the moon didn't supply the milk. How are you? All right. Get the soup from the soup dragon. I hope it goes well, Crafty. Good luck with you. I've got, as you can see, you can't see it now, but I've got all your pictures on my little gallery there. Yes. So what else should I look up? If I get a reply from Irina Scott, I'll ask her if I can share her information, but she may just want to speak to me privately. But if she can shed any light on this, I'll let you know. But her book is really amazing. I've got it over there. It's called Sacred Corridors, and I interviewed her as well. I've done some interviews on her Panmo Radio with her. If you want to see it, I've done how many? I've done about 3, I think. Let's have a look. I think I've done 3, yeah. There's a book, Sacred Corridors. She talks about Battelle there. And there's another one, and another one. I've done 4 altogether. That's Irina there. I've done 4 interviews with Irina, and it's not just about aliens. There's one about lightning balls in it, and free energy and things. Hi, Sweeps. How many, I want to ask, good people in your chat, Ben, actually have experiences, videos with UFOs, ETs? Just asking. Good question, guys. And feel free to let me know if you have any information along those lines. Right. This was actually posted 2 years ago. Oh, boy. When was the original one posted? Reddit, okay. So I'm just getting back to the original article, the article I wrote on her Panmo voice back in. This is what this whole video is based on. Because there was some interesting thing is there's actually a YouTube, like illustrated YouTube version of this. This is YouTube. This is it. This is where I first came across it here. Oh, that's horrible. What is that? What are they advertising? I'm not going to. when it's advertised like that. I'm not going to buy chewing gum when it's advertised
of these beings. What questions and theories?
There we go. I'll play. I don't know how much I won't get it. I don't think I'll get a copyright strike on this, but this man went missing after creating a single Reddit post. There you go. I'll plead fair comment, fair use on that. And I said it's probably Gary Nolan, but it's maybe not be. But it's on this channel here. And it basically goes through the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah. What's that advert? So you think you can sell chewing gum by showing a person with a mouth opening up in the middle of their forehead? How is that going to? You want to buy chewing gum when it's advertised like that? I wouldn't. Nihilist lives matter. The missus was abducted for a whole week while I was working away and came back with the space clap. Is that what she told you, Nihilist lives matter? I'm just going to go through images for Battelle. Here we go. I just want to go through images to see what's there. See if I can find an anyway. National Defense Analysis Countermeasures Center. Let's just have a look at, just do an image search to see if there's any interesting pictures. You never know what might pop up if I do an image search. Let's have a look. Images. This is just that's the logo, and that's their building. The building's in the logo. Got a brand new building now. Look at this. This is the biosafety level 4 suits. This is where they have to wear that to prevent. That's interesting. Now those I'd probably. These people wearing these suits to protect them from the diseases. You may have seen these in the film The Outbreak, and other films like it. Biohazard, yeah. And this is like, these are just more like standard. This is to protect them. You see, they're wearing these suits and these things to protect them. And of course, there's the glove box. The glove box you always get, don't you? That's another trope. Now, these are not pictures taken inside the alien laboratory if it exists, but this is the kind of things you would get. This is the kind of things you would see in such a place. Interesting. Let's just see. I'll just put look. Here we go, Battelle. Is there Battelle? Here we go. This is just like, that's the Battelle Memorial Institute in Ohio. That's their thing in Columbus, Ohio. That's their place. Battle decontamination equipment. Excuse me. What's that? Oh, it's a conference. It's a conference, right? Oh my goodness me! They've got. Is that Ronnie Wood? Steve Battelle. Oh God, he looks like Ronnie Wood, doesn't he? With Rolling Stones. God, that guy's. He looks like a right space cadet, doesn't he, Steve Battelle? It's probably just his name. There's no connection there. Careers at Battelle. That could be him. Okay. What's happening now? Oh. All right. I may have just. Anyway. Hatchie says, I've researched loads over the last 20 years. And what is Lou Aliwando? I think you mean Elizondo. And the Coulthard guy, the suspense of him, it's like Coronation Street for It's like Coronation Street for aliens. That's for Greer, the Chuck Norris stuff. Hello, Red Snapper said. Yeah, hello. How are you? Lots of discussions over the etymology of the word clap following this talk about alien clap. Yeah. Right, I think that's it. I can't believe it or not. I know we've only been going just over an hour, but I've covered everything, I think. Does anyone want to add anything at all? We've got 34 people watching, so let me know. I'll just see what comments I get, and then if you've got any interesting comments to make, I'll carry on for a bit longer. But we seem to be. I think we're all sorted. I'll tell you, talk about what's coming next. I'm going to do my new Stefan Molyneux video at some point this week. Like the stream. Oh, thank you very much, DJ. Much appreciated. So if anything more comes along about this, I'll let you know. I'm curious to see what Michael Salah says about it. But basically, again, as is always the case, this person we have to take their word for it. And they could be making it up. It could be a big hoax. It could be a big scam. If so, no one's confessed. After over a year, no one's confessed. And indeed, there's nothing to indicate. There's no kind of sensationalism that indicates this is some kind of a hoax. And it would be a very elaborate hoax. This person went to a lot of effort to construct this fiction. If they made it up, imagining they made it up. If they fictionalized it, firstly, they'd have the knowledge to do so, but they'd have to make up this story about aliens in a laboratory. And just imagine these aliens. I mean, wouldn't you want that on your CV? I mean, wouldn't you maybe adapt that into a little story which you could publish? Because that's funny. What if if that was a plot for some kind of novel, I'd bloody read it. I've almost finished this first Secret Machines novel, and it's really good. I want to see. It's not that much different to my own. Roswell Rising, a novel of disclosure, available at all good bookshops now, priced £10. There, shameless plug over. Green Tea, do you think there will be more info released with the new US administration? Yes, I do, and I'm not often that certain, but I am. I'm going to stake my reputation on this. If I'm wrong, I will. I said this to Gravity Mirror on Rumble, because he was going on about how he's very anti-Trump and stuff like this, and I was saying, look, I'll do you a deal, Gravity Mirror. I'll come back in 4 years' time, and if things haven't vastly improved, I'll say I'll apologize, and I'll admit I was wrong, and you can do your victory. You can do a victory dance all over my channel. Hello, Jeff Hindley. How are you? I've not been able to follow these last few days. What's been happening? Oh my God. Loads. I've been trying to keep up with it all, Jeff. But the best thing to do is just go through my catalog. But also, if you want something a bit more concise, go to Hapanwo Voice. I just put up an article there today, actually. If you want to read it, but there's a lot here. Look, I just put up this article about the Minnesota Iceman, which is possibly a dead Bigfoot that was actually put on display. There's Tulsi mentions UFOs. The square on Mars. Oh, goodness me. There's a rabbit hole. So I've covered that there. The Brexit 50p piece, Brexit Day, and of course the drones thing. Having to go Andrew Johnson, as always. And then there's this article here, which I'm very proud of. Fall back to the keep. Yeah. Trump declassified JFK file. So you check those out, man. Check those out. Yeah. So I do think I will admit I was wrong, if it turns out that I'm wrong. But at the moment, the indications are looking quite good from Trump. I mean, he said some stupid things. He's talked a lot about nonsense. The things he said about Gaza are just stupid. I think but don't take him seriously. Styx Hexenhammer did this thing about Trump and what he said about Gaza. It's posturing. It's like it's nonsense about invading Panama. And Jeff Henley says, I've noticed a lot of plane crashes. Yes. There's been another one, hasn't there, in Alaska? I covered this on Third Rail, right? Oh, goodness me. I'm such a bleeding anorak. I just cover everything. Where we are. Here we go. Third Rail Radio Program 197. There you go. Plane crashes galore. I cover it in this radio show if you want to listen to it. It's on the Panmo Radio blog. There you go. Elon wants to investigate the square on Mars. Yes, he does. And now this is interesting because all the probes so far that have been sent to Mars, like the Curiosity, are nowhere near any of these structures. They're nowhere near Cydonia or any of these other structures. Now, I unfortunately, because people said, well, can't the Perseverance rover go to investigate this? Unfortunately not. This is hundreds of miles away. It's way out of its range. But if he, I hope he does. I really hope he does, to investigate this square thing. Now, the square, now, bear in mind with the square, there's a lot of very stupid, sexed up kind of AI equivalents that makes the square more pronounced. Those are altered. Those are enhanced pictures. And it's a silly thing to do that, because the original is spectacular enough, and putting these fake images out it's creating more confusion, and it's basically giving food to the skeptics. Green tea. How did the Mars rovers get cleaned? Well, maybe that's the NASA keeping a secret that they actually have an alien car wash up there, and the aliens are working with them. Hatchie. Love you too, Hatchie. Thank you. So, DJ, Cydonia is key to the Earth-Mars synergy. Yes. Richard Hoagland talks about that. Yeah, and I don't completely dismiss Richard Hoagland. All right. That's it, I think. I want to thank you. There's been no extra kind of comments. Well, there's been a couple of comments. I want to thank you for your comments. This is a slightly shorter live stream than usual, but I appreciate all your comments, guys. I really, really do. And there's be much, much more coming soon. And I'm glad actually it's not too long, because Crafty, Ben might come and visit us soon. Yeah, Crafty, I'd love to. I really would. I've got to arrange the time off work, though. I've got to arrange all the time off work, but I'd love to. I've got to give notice. Take care, Jeff Finley. Thank you. I want to say a big thank you to Jeff Finley, Crafty Niles, Hatchie, Green Tea, DJ B2, David Splendid Isolation, Red Snapper, Lance Corporal, Sweeps Foxman, Green Tea. I've said Green Tea. Tone, Williamism, See How We Are Living, Observer, and anyone else I've missed? Solo, who's now left, who had to leave, and anyone else I missed out. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sweeps. Thumbs up. Good night, Johnny. You're welcome, Green Tea. Take care, Jeff Hindley. I'll be back soon. As I meet, I've got a little bit more. I've still got a lot of allowances on my. I've got another 4 hours, I think, on StreamYard. It resets on Wednesday, so that'll be plenty. No nights, David. Thank you, everyone, for watching Hapanwo TV yet again. Keep your eye out. There'll be more coming soon. And don't forget, Sunday night is Spanner Night, the gas spanner, if you're into that sort of thing, which is tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. And, of course, Third Railway on Monday. And then there'll be another. I'll be doing my Molyneux video probably next. So keep an eye out for that. Probably in the middle of the week or sometime. In the meantime, thank you all for watching Hapanwo TV. Hospital Porters, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order.